I recently 100%ed Watch Dogs 1, and I really enjoyed getting all the achievements, so I thought I'd go for the Watch Dogs 2 100% next. So, in today's video, I will be attempting to achieve all of Watch Dogs 2 achievements, including all DLC achievements on the Xbox One. Watch Dogs 2 released in 2016 and is the first game I actually played after I got my Xbox One, so I'll be going into this playthrough with some familiarity as I've played on the Xbox and completed the game on the PC. I even got 30 of the 55 total achievements while playing on PC. I remember absolutely loving this game, so I'm excited to go back and 100% it on the Xbox. As I just mentioned, the game has 55 achievements in total, with 49 coming from the base game and the other 6 coming from the 4 DLCs. So let's get into it. Watch Dogs 2 picks up where Watch Dogs 1 left off, as San Francisco was the next city that installed the CTOS. Almost immediately, we are introduced to the protagonist, and who we play throughout the game, Marcus Holloway. Here, Marcus is essentially trying out for the hacker team DedSec, and in order to join, he has to sneak into the CTOS data server farm and clear his name and criminal record from the Bloom database. In this introductory mission, the game introduces new controls, and of course, how to hack. And after taking out some guards, doing some hacking, and clearing Marcus's criminal record, I escaped and was initiated into DedSec. Here, I earned my first achievement back in 2019 called Who Am I for erasing my past identity in the Bloom servers. In the following cutscene, we meet the rest of DedSec, Satara, Wrench, Horatio, and Josh, and we even have a run-in with the game's antagonist. After the cutscene, I headed to a local clothes store where I bought some pants and got another achievement, which I earned in 2019. Next, I made my way to the DedSec hideout, but on my way during my initial playthrough, I got 2 more achievements, the first called Third Time's the Charm for making 3 jumps in a row aboard a vehicle, and the second called Something to Ride for hijacking a bus. After making it to the DedSec HQ, I used a 3D printer to print myself a gun and got my first achievement on Watch Dogs 2 in nearly 5 years. A shotgun? I got it. Menace. I think that's for, yeah, buy a 2-handed weapon. I made sure to do that one first because I knew that was an achievement. Oh, all right. That's one right away. First one since 2019. After this, I did an introductory side mission, which was irrelevant to the story, but while completing the mission, I neutralized a hunter, where I got another achievement, Natural Born Killer. However, after killing him, I became wanted, and after escaping the cops, I got the achievement Smooth Felon for escaping a level 5 felony. I got both of these achievements back in 2019. Now, it's time to begin the main story, first with Operation Cyberdrive. After watching a movie trailer that defamed DedSec, I next head to Hook Motion Picture Studios, where I download some studio emails and stole the movie script. Next, I stole the cybercar that was featured in the movie and attempted to escape the cops, which was easier said than done. After finally escaping, I brought back the car to Wrench in tip-top shape. Got it back in one piece. That did not look like that. In the last mission of the operation, we modded the car to drive itself and painted DedSec logos all over it. This mission consisted of me remotely driving across the city, away from cops. This mission was actually pretty cool, and the car was pretty fun to drive. And after I made it through the final gate, I got my next achievement. What did I get? Night Ridden.
I aim to please.
Finish Operation Cyberdrive. I next decided to start the False Prophets operation, which began after New Dawn, a religious cult in Watch Dogs 2, took down DedSec recruitment videos and threatened to sue anyone who reposted them. So, in order to get back at them, DedSec decided to target an actor who was a member of New Dawn. Next, I made my way to the New Dawn HQ downtown, where things got a bit physical.
People who think they can do whatever they want. Get lost.
Whoa! Hey! Okay, now I'm getting jumped by everyone. Alright, it's gonna get active here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to jump everyone. Are you good? You're good, right? Okay. Alright, everyone. Go back to protesting. And after hacking his profile data at New Dawn's HQ, we find out that he's actually in trouble with New Dawn, and we make a visit to his home. During the conversation, we learn of a New Dawn facility called the Red Room, and once we get there, we learn that Jimmy had actually been captured and was being held there, so of course I had to infiltrate the facility and save him. After saving him, Jimmy wants to get back at New Dawn, and he tells us the location of a New Dawn temple with prized New Dawn artifacts in a shrine below the building. Unfortunately, here my recording actually messed up, so I'll briefly go over the ending. Ultimately, Marcus infiltrates the temple and breaks the artifacts in the shrine to prove that New Dawn and what they stand for is all fake. And after leaving and getting back to the DedSec HQ, I got the achievement, Baby I Got Your Money, for completing the Operation False Profits. Next I began the Operation Home Sweet Home, but my recording was still messed up, so again, I'll go over the missions very briefly. Essentially, this operation consisted of exposing a company called Home, which has publicly challenged DedSec to try and hack their operation systems. So after stealing a home truck and breaking into a house with this special operating system, I actually got a miscellaneous achievement called Roboteer for hacking a robot outside of the house, and after downloading some security data in the house and going to their HQ after to steal more data, I headed to a cell tower where DedSec broadcasted a live message exposing Home for being a sham, and after this, the operation was over, and I got the achievement No Place Like Home for finishing the operation. This is the last mission where the recording messed up, so from here on out, we're all good. Next, I began the Operation Looking Glass, where we learned that DedSec's accounts have been botted by someone at a company called Invite. So after investigating the CEO's office at Invite's HQ, we learned that the same man that we ran into at the beach was responsible for botting DedSec. And here we had another heated conversation where after he puts a warrant out for Marcus's arrest, making him the city's most wanted man. And of course, I had to escape the police, which was actually pretty tough. But after a few tries, I managed to get away. After getting back to the DedSec HQ, the group decided to go to Swelter Skelter, which is a festival in the desert. Here the group parties and we reunite with an old friend.
Who are you? I'm Ray.
Oh, is that T-Bone?
I should have put more cheese in.
It's T-Bone. Raymond Kenny. Wow, that's cool. T-Bone. After talking with T-Bone, we get him to join DedSec and help clear Marcus's name. After, we head back to the HQ and I got an achievement for completing the operation. Picking up the pieces. Looking at glass. Next, I began the operation called Limp Noodle. Yes, Limp Noodle, which is the game's version of Google. Nonetheless, this operation was actually pretty quick as we found out that all of the data that comes in from Noodle searches goes to Bloom's behavioral prediction system. So of course we needed to steal the data and expose Noodle. So first we pretended to be a Noodle bus driver, which got us access into the Noodle campus. And once we got into the campus, I actually got a miscellaneous achievement for buying a Noodle shirt in a vending machine. There we go. Only God can judge me. After this, I slowly made my way into the Noodle server farm where I located the central server and transferred the data. After this, the operation was over and I got another achievement for completing all the missions in the operation. Informer. Complete Operation Limp Noodle. Before continuing on with the main story, I first decided to get some miscellaneous trophies out of the way and did a few side missions. First, I found and drove a unique vehicle, which netted me an achievement. Oh. A ride to remember. Drive one of the unique vehicles. Next, I bought all the apps in the App Store. Another achievement is getting all the apps in the App Store. I think that's all. There we go. Apping around. I then completed a side operation called Ubi Stolen, in which we hacked into Ubisoft Studios, where we stole a video file of a trailer for Ubisoft's new game. I thought this was actually a pretty clever side quest. After this, I pet 10 dogs and took down my 30th enemy using stealth and got a triple achievement pop.
Versus Predator.
The question doesn't make any sense. I mean,
Leaks and leaks. Finish Ubi Stolen. Okay. Another one. Doggy Land. Pet 10 dogs. Back-to-back pops. Okay. Another one. Knock you out. Do a stealth takedown on 30 enemies. Okay. Now it's time to pick up where we left off in the main story with the operation called Hacker War. This operation's main goal is to take down rival hacker Lenny, who has been given money from Bloom's CEO to tell him everything she knows about DedSec. This leads her to implant an encryption key and release a propaganda video defaming DedSec. Next, Marcus meets up with Lenny, and she says the only way DedSec can get the decryption key is if the group releases a self-deprecating video. While this conversation was going on, T-Bone finds that Lenny's group, Prime 8, and another group called the Sons of Ragnarok were meeting up at a restaurant to do an ATM skimming operation together. So next I set out to disrupt the meeting and destroy all of the ATMs. After doing this, we meet back up with Lenny, where we hack her and find Prime 8's bunker. After getting to the bunker, I hacked the system and got the decryption key. Wasn't too hard. There we go. Sabotage. Getting a whole bunch now. After this, I began another operation nearby called Watched. Here, DedSec takes on the FBI. After getting a tip that Marcus was being followed, we investigate a nearby van, and after downloading some data, we find that DedSec is being watched by the FBI. After this, Marcus heads to the FBI building to plant a transceiver on an antenna. Next, we had to download spying data from the FBI server. I'm not gonna lie, this was tough as the building was full of enemies, so attempting to get by stealthy proved to be a difficult task. But after dying a few times and finally downloading the data, I made my escape, which actually went pretty well. Next, we headed to another antenna to plant another transceiver, and as I finished planting it, I tried to call Wrench, but it turns out he got captured by the FBI and Bloom's CEO. Now, it was time to get Wrench's mask back and download the FBI's data. This portion was actually pretty difficult, and after a couple tries, I got the mask, downloaded the data, and escaped. Wrench.
Sorry you had to go through that, man.
Hypnotize. Watched. It was cool. That was actually a pretty cool operation. Next, I started Operation 911. Since this is a side mission, I won't go too much into detail, but this operation consisted of a bunch of different missions where I had to disrupt deals between corrupt cops and the different gangs in the game. This one was actually pretty cool, as before interrupting the deal, you could see a visual reenactment of how the deal would pan out so you could properly prepare. The final mission in this operation was actually difficult, as I had to free a witness out of Alcatraz, and no matter what I did, I would always be caught by the police, so this one took a while, but anyways, after finishing all the missions in the operation, I got an achievement.
Yo, I am never going to Alcatraz again.
There we go. 100% legit. Next, I started the Operation Eye for an Eye, which was actually where the game began to heat up. The operation begins after we learn that Horatio has gone dark, and after tracking his phone and watching nearby CCTV footage, we find that he was jumped and kidnapped by the Tezcas. After tracking down where the Tezcas took Horatio, we find a house where we find him, but it was too late and he was killed. So of course, we had to get our get back, so first we broke into the Tezcas hangout and downloaded their operation info. After this, we burned their weed farm. Following the same theme, we got aboard their ship and destroyed their coke supply. Now it was time to finally get our get back and take out 3 of Horatio's 4 killers. In the final mission of the operation, we broke into a dog fighting ring to take out Horatio's final killer, and after packing him up and escaping, the mission ended and I got an achievement. Old school justice. Eye for an eye. Next, I began another cool operation called Hack to World. After meeting T-Bone on a beach and watching a rocket launch, we come up with a plan to see what Bloom is doing with the rockets. So after dropping T-Bone back off at the HQ, I headed over to the Galilei building, where I first hacked the building's camera system, and then made my way through the building, past guards, where I modified a motherboard, and then planted a virus-filled motherboard on a satellite to give DedSec access to the satellite once it launched. Next, we held a watch party of the next rocket launch, and I can't lie, this was probably one of the coolest missions I've played, as we then took control of the satellite and hacked into different grids in countries across the world. After disabling the power grid in the different countries, we got access into Bloom's data center in Delaware, and after we completed the hacking puzzle, we stole Bloom's data and hacked the world. It's actually a lot easier than I thought.
Yes! Marcus, you beautiful bastard!
Join the Mile High Club. Hack the world. Now it was time to begin the operation called Shanghai. The first mission begins after we get a tip about a shipping container near Bay Bridge. After investigating and finding a man who appeared to be kidnapped and now living in the container, we met an informant in Chinatown who told us about some documents in a safe guarded by the Auntie Shoeboys gang. After getting past the guards and stealing the documents, I headed to a lighthouse where we spotted a barge which was carrying servers full of valuable info, so of course, next we had to infiltrate the barge. Once aboard, I had to find and then steal the main server. This was actually pretty difficult as there seemed to be a never-ending amount of enemies, and after I secured the server, I then had to wait for extraction, just like a COD game, but I managed to hold my own and somehow survive to complete the operation. There we go, another operation down. Shanghai. Next, I began another side mission called Shadows, and this was one of my favorites. After investigating some bodies in a cargo shipment, we learned that it was the work of none other than Aiden Pierce, and we found an audio log that mentioned he was now in trouble, so of course we had to save him. Next, we tracked his location and attempted to find him.
Looks like Pierce really got himself into a jam.
Don't just tell us about it, help him.
Aiden! He's a demon. Still a demon. After saving him and escaping, the operation was over, and I got an achievement. Like I said, while this operation was short, it was one of my favorites, as it was cool to see Aiden come back, even for just a short cameo. That's a cool side mission. The Fox. Now, only 3 operations remained. The first, called Robot Wars. After hearing that CTOS may be trying to militarize the robots, DedSec started to investigate. However, Titus, the robot manufacturing company, would be very difficult to infiltrate. So, first, we needed to upgrade our own robot, and after heading to the local facility and finding some EMP devices to install into the robot, it was time to break into Titus. First, we used our own robot to get into the server room where we activated the EMP and blew up the robot along with the servers. Now it was time for Marcus to get inside the building and destroy the militarized robots. But before doing that, we had to get to the server room where we could download the project files from the server. And surprisingly, this was actually one of the more challenging parts of the game, as I couldn't seem to get past the guards and download the project files. But after finally getting past this section, we reached the prototypes lab where I took control of a militarized spider, which was pretty fun to use and extremely OP. Here, all I had to do was literally destroy everything, and after doing this and destroying the server's power supply, the operation was over.
Who wants to have some fun?
There we go, the itsy bitsy spider. Now, only 2 more base operations remained. The next, called Power to the Sheeple. The data that we got from the satellite informed us that Invite was swaying voters to vote for Mark Thruss, who was working with Dusan Nemec, the game's antagonist, to use CTOS to rig the election. So of course, DedSec had to put an end to this. First, I had to go around to billboards across the city and vandalize them. Next, I needed to infiltrate the Invite building and install a backdoor on its servers and tap the CEO's phone. After doing this, we retrieve a video of Thruss having an argument about the election at his penthouse, so that's where I headed next. Here, I needed to get into the penthouse and download evidence of the election being rigged. This actually wasn't too bad, and I was able to get in and out pretty quickly. The last mission of the operation required me to destroy voting machines, which delayed the election, and after doing this, DedSec released a video exposing the scheme, and the second to last operation was complete. Make every voice count. Before starting the next mission, I had enough money to buy 25 vehicles in a dealership, which netted me an achievement. Alright, let me get these last 2 cars here. I think that's 25 now. There we go. One-man garage. After this, I drove one of the vehicles I bought, called the Meringue, for 4 kilometers to get another achievement. Mini road trip. Now it was time for the final operation called Motherload. After being added to the FBI Most Wanted list, Marcus and their group come up with a plan to put an end to Bloom. In the first part of the mission, I actually got to play as Satara, who was attempting to hack into Dusan's assistant's apartment to download Bloom's campus code. After doing this, I next took control of Wrench with the objective to unlock Bloom's vault door. This was pretty fun as Wrench had a grenade launcher, so I was able to destroy everything, but I did however die quite a lot. But eventually I did get into the vault and destroy Bloom's backup servers and main generators. Next, I took control of Marcus for the final part of the mission. Here, I infiltrated Bloom's campus and attempted to cripple Bloom's communication. I took this super slow, so it actually wasn't too bad, and I was able to reach the air-gapped computer. Here, I downloaded some more files, and after the download was done, it was time to escape. Here, there were a ton of enemies, but I was able to run past them to the exit where the final cutscene began. Go! 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 Marcus, we need to go a little bit quicker. Okay, thank you. Hack the world. Oh yeah, we gotta kill him. Kill him. Kill him.
Whoever it is, you're done fucking people over.
Oh, he's getting locked up. Hello. Good game. While the last main operation was complete, I still had one more side op to finish. For this one, I needed to complete 3 e-cart races while also fully upgrading it, which got me the achievement Pimp My E-Cart. And there we go. Pimp My E-Cart. That's for getting all the upgrades there. Now that all the operations in the base game were complete, it was time to get the rest of the miscellaneous achievements. So first, I completed a drone race. Oh my god. I get around. That's for the drone race. A bike race. Ain't no stopping. Do a bike race. A sailboat race. Not great. Earn your sea legs. That's for doing a sailboat race. Hijacked a boat. There we go. Bad boys. Hijack a boat. And rode a cable car. Dead Secaroni. Ride a cable car. Next, I bought some Crocs. There it is, in style. After this, I completed a 140 meters long jump. Alright, let's see if we can do this jump. It has to be 145 meters or something. Come on. I see something loading. There we go. Jump around. After I traveled 200 meters on top of a car while hacking it. Alright, there's another one. Let me ride. The next achievement I went for was one of the more random ones, as I had to call the cops on a donut man. Alright, now I gotta arrest him. Or get him arrested. Here they come.
Anything or I will shoot.
The donut man just got arrested. That's kind of funny. Feeding frenzy. Call the cops on the donut guy. That poor guy. What was that? Okay. After this, I got photobombed while taking a selfie. That's a photobomb, right? And she got a glizzy in her hand too. Shout out to her. Photobombed. Next, I dove into some of the multiplayer modes. First, I played the invasion mode, which is the same mode in Watch Dogs 1, so after I hacked someone who was AFK, I got the achievement. Troller. After this, I completed 5 online DedSec events and took a picture of someone vomiting. These both popped at the same time. I get it? Hold my hair. I did get it. Nice. Take a picture of someone vomiting. Awesome. What is that? What of the gang? Complete 5 DedSec. Oh my god. The next multiplayer achievement I went for was called Please Marcus, Don't Hurt Them, which required me to successfully neutralize 5 fugitives in the bounty hunter mode. This one was actually pretty easy, as most of the time the person you were hunting was being chased by cops, which made them easy targets, and after taking out way more than 5, the achievement finally popped. There we go. Please Marcus, don't hurt them. That was way more than 5, but I'll take it. During my first playthrough in 2019, I also got the achievement called Hold My Hand for successfully completing an online co-op operation. Now, only 2 achievements remained in the base game, both of which were collectible based. The first called Researcher for collecting all the key data points in the city. This one was actually pretty easy as I picked up a bunch during my playthrough, and in the skills menu, you could get the exact location of each and every data point. So after picking up the last one, I got the achievement. Here we go. That is the last one, or so I believe. There we go. Researcher. It's nice it actually tells you where they all are. If they didn't, it'd be very difficult, so. Now the last achievement, called the Shutterbug, required me to do 25 Scout X location pictures, which again was pretty easy as the app told you exactly where to take the pictures at, and after taking the 25th picture, I got the final achievement of the base game. I did it! Got the Shutterbug, the final base achievement in Watch Dogs 2. Now it's time for the DLC. I first started with the Human Conditions DLC, which featured 3 new operations. I won't go too much into detail into these, but they were all pretty enjoyable. The first operation, called Caustic Progress, brought DedSec to a homeless camp after hearing reports that a new tech company called RenSense had been using homeless people to experiment with nanotechnology. After investigating these reports, we actually teamed up with Lenny to get into the RenSense HQ. But of course, she backstabs us and tries to secure the nanotech for herself. However, with the help of Josh, we are able to stop her and save more people from becoming test subjects. Josh is him.
You straight
Aura.
played her.
Don't fuck with the hot sauce.
There we go. Nano Triumph. Caustic Progress. The next operation, called Bad Medicine, was by far one of the best operations in the entire game. In this operation, we reunite with yet another old friend from Watch Dogs 1, Jordy.
So who the fuck are you?
Jordy, that's so fire. Here, Marcus and Jordy kind of team up to stop the Brodfa gang. While Marcus and DedSec look to destroy the ransomware that was used to attack hospitals, Jordy has been contracted to take out the leader of the Brodfa. This one was pretty fun as there was definitely some tension between Jordy and Marcus as they would continue to bicker throughout each mission. But after stealing the ransomware and watching Jordy brutally murder the leader of the Brodfa, the operation was over and I got my second achievement of the DLC. Oh my god. Oh, knee. I knew it. They're gonna break he's gonna break the computer. Oh no, we're good. I wanna watch this though.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, Jordy's disgusting, bro. Not the pizza guy. That was cool. I actually really like that. I like how they brought Jordy back. The last operation, called Automata, was yet another interesting operation. This one began with Wrench and Marcus watching a presentation from the Vice President of Noodle showcasing a new self-driving CTOS smart car. After doing some digging, we find that the car's biometric systems use life scores to determine who should live in case of an accident. So now, DedSec set out to expose this to the general public. Next, I traveled to the CEO's house to obtain voice samples which would allow me to enter the smart car that was being displayed. And after getting into the Noodle building and entering the car, we now had to escape the police. For some reason, this part caused me a ton of trouble. Since the car was self-driving, I had to focus on defending the car from the police, and I died a lot. But finally, after a good run, I escaped and DedSec exposed Noodle, which concluded the Human Conditions DLC. And there we go, the score of your life. While Automata was the final operation of the Human Conditions DLC, Ubisoft actually released an update to the DLC which included one more achievement called Prize Catch, which requires you to complete 10 co-op missions to finish the operation off the hook. So of course I called up my friend Aaron, who helped out in the Watch Dogs 1 video. This one was actually kind of tricky as each mission was elite difficulty, but finally, after we finished the last mission of the operation, I got the one and only achievement in the Human Conditions Update DLC. Oh, I got it. I just got something. Prize Catch. Prize Catch.
Oh, the last one?
Off the hook. Next, I began the No Compromise DLC, which featured only one operation and one achievement. The one operation, called Moscow Gambit, was actually kind of wild, and I'm not sure I can show much of it on YouTube, but essentially, a Russian movie star used DedSec's name in a bad light in an X-rated film, so we needed to make an example out of him. However, this turned out to be a bad decision, as now the Russian mob was after DedSec. This led to Marcus being kidnapped and nearly crushed to death, but after escaping and getting our equipment back, it was time to get revenge on the Bratva. So next, we destroyed the gang's drug supplies and fake DedSec vehicles. The next mission was pretty cool, and while Wrench and the rest of DedSec were setting bombs in Bratva territory, I drew them out on my motorcycle, stole a drug boat, and the operation and the DLC ended with a See what I did there? Sorry. Now, only one achievement remains. It's the final showdown in the Showdown DLC. This one requires you to play a 2v2 co-op mode and to reach the maximum win streak bonus, which is 4. So in other words, all we had to do was win 4 straight games. Let's go. Let's go. That's one. That's one. I died.
You did?
Yep.
Oh,
They got him.
Oh, is it? They're not even gonna get in.
Go. Come on. Come on. 2 more. I killed him. I killed him. You have a chance. Go, go, go.
On your knees, now!
Go.
Squad, be advised that a possible suspect or suspects have been reported near your location.
Yes. Yes. You're him. You're him. One more. One more. Go. 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 Be careful of the other guy. He's gonna spawn back soon. I would wait for him, Loki. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Go. Go. Yes. Let's go. You're him. You're him. You're him.
So,
let's go. That's
so
4.
good.
That's 4. I'm waiting for
Did
it.
you get the achievement?
I'm waiting for it. Did you get it?
I know we got 4 wins.
We did. It said
this is
4.
4.
It said 4.
Get an ambulance here, ASAP!
I guess you have to live though.
You're gonna have to. You're there. I see him. Up there. Shoot. Up there. Up there. Go. Go. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Go. Jump. 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 Yes! Let's go. You're him.
Get it. That's cool. That was a fire ass shot.
That was crazy. He was literally an inch away from picking it up.
That's crazy. Okay, you gotta get it down.
Let's see. 5 win streak. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. It's the final showdown. We can just leave. Thank God.
That was torture.
Thank God. Oh my God.
That was like the least I ever had played a year.
Oh, that was painful. Thank you so much. You were actually the GOAT. Again, shout out to Aaron for helping, and check out his channel using the link in the description. And that was the Watch Dogs 2 100%. After playing this game all the way through for the second time, I think it's safe to say that it's one of my favorites. I think the story along with the combat made for a great experience, and of course there were a ton of funny moments and even hilarious achievements, which made getting the 100% even more enjoyable. The game had some hard moments, but nothing crazy, and unlike Watch Dogs 1 and most Ubisoft games, there weren't any tedious collectible based achievements, which honestly was the icing on the cake. Of course, next I will be going for the final 100% in the Watch Dogs trilogy, so stay tuned for the Watch Dogs Legion 100% coming very, very soon. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.